Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. In today's video, we are going to build a full CRUD application with the help of MongoDB in our Next.js app. So you can see that we are going to implement a task generator app with the help of Next.js and a MongoDB. So you can create a new task by clicking on this new task button, okay? And you can give any title like eating, and you can give description like I will eat by 2 p.m. okay, and if you hit submit, you can see that your new task is displaying in a cart component on home page. And you can also view the single task. So if you click on view, as you can see that you are able to view the single task as well. And you can also delete this task. So if you click on delete, so you will get a model, and if you click OK, that task will get deleted. You can see that our fifth task is got deleted from our home page. And you can also update the existing task. So if you click on edit, so you can also update this one. So let's update the title, and let's update the description as well. And if you click on update, this will get updated. As you can see that it is getting updated on our home page. So we have performed create, read, update and delete, and all this operation we are going to perform with the help of MongoDB in our Next.js app. And in this project we are also going to use a semantic UI to build our component like card, button, navbar. So all this component we will be building with the help of semantic UI only. So you are also going to learn how to use a semantic UI in a Next.js. And before we start working on this project, if you haven't subscribed this channel, then please subscribe my channel and like the video as well if you find out that video is useful. So before I create a Next.js app, I wanted to inform you that in today's video, we are not going to use a cloud MongoDB. So we will be using this approach to establish a connection with our MongoDB. So basically we are not going to use cloud MongoDB in this video. So we are going to follow this simple and straightforward approach to connect with our MongoDB. So you can see that we have a very basic setup to establish a connection with the MongoDB. So we will be using this approach to connect with MongoDB in our Next.js app. So let's start creating the Next.js project, and we will establish a connection with MongoDB with this simple approach. Okay. So let's go into the directory first where we are going to create our Next.js app, and I'm going to open one command prompt. So let's open this one, and I'm going to create a Next.js project using the command npx create next app, and the project name will be like Mongo CRUD app. Okay, and this will take some time to set up our Next.js project. So I'll be back once the project setup is completed. Okay, so guys, our project is now set up, as you can see that here. So first let's go into this directory, that is cd mongo CRUD app. So now we are in this directory, and I have already opened this project in my Visual Studio Code. So first let's go into the Visual Studio Code. So as you can see that I have opened this project in my VS Code. So first let's run the Next.js project. So I'll open that command prompt, and here, in order to run the Next.js, you can also go to the package.json file and you can check the command. So we have to run that command like npm run dev. Okay, so let's do that one, npm run dev. So our server is started on localhost 3000, and I will give you a brief overview as well of Next.js, okay, before we start working on our application. And we can verify this one in browser as well. So let's go into the browser. So as you can see that our Next.js project is successfully loaded into the browser, and we have got some boilerplate content from our Next.js. And so whatever the content you are seeing here, so this content is basically written here. If I go back into my VS Code, so in VS Code you can see that we have a pages folder, and whatever we have inside this index.js file, so this is all the content that is showing in my browser. Okay, so this is the same content that is written over here in index.js file. So If I remove this all thing, if I get rid of all this thing, uh, and if I just give here like hello next, okay, let's save this file. So let's go into the browser, okay, and we can format this one as well. So now we have got this content, okay, so you don't need to refresh the browser as well. Okay, so this is about index.js file, and in next.js, so if I go to the official document, so in next.js basically routing is happen based on the file system. Okay, so whatever the file you create inside this pages folder, it will basically create a route. So there is no need to install React Router DOM with next.js. Okay, so next.js has a file system based router built on the concept of pages. So this is talking about this pages folder. Okay, so if I just create a page one like test.js, test.js, okay, and let's just generate some snippet here, and let's give title here like testing page, okay, and let's go into the browser, and if I just give here like test, okay, so you can see that we are able to create the route with this approach. Okay, so we don't need to install React Router DOM while working with the Next.js. This is the one concept that Next.js is used. Okay, and guys, you can also create a dynamic route. So how you can create this one? So let's go into the VS Code, and here if you wanted to create a dynamic route, so you have to create the file like this way, id.js. Okay, so this way basically dynamic route you can create, and if you give some content here, so you can give anything here. So what you can give here like test id, okay, and you can access this one test id, and you can give here anything testing id, okay, okay, and let's go into the browser and verify this one it's working or not. So what you can do here, so you can pass here any random id, okay, it doesn't matter. So if you pass just one, so now you can see that you are able to render the dynamic route as well by passing the id in the url. So this is how dynamic route work with the Next.js. So guys, now let's talk about the API folders that we have inside our pages. Okay, so if I go to the official document, so you can see that in the Next.js document, so with the help of Next.js, we can create our own API. So any file inside the folder pages is mapped to the API, and it will be treated as an API endpoint. Okay, so inside this API folder, so we have one file hello.js. So now this hello.js file will be treated as endpoint, okay, and you can access this endpoint in the browser as well. So you can see that we are sending the JSON response here, John Doe. So let's access this endpoint. So what we can do here, API hello, okay, so now you can see that we have got our response John Doe, and if you change this one response, so let's change this one hello React. So let's refresh this one, so you can see that it's getting changed here. So this is all about the API routes, and you can also create a dynamic endpoint. So how you gonna do that one? So it is the same process. So you can see that we have ID here, and we can create like this way only. So ID dot js, okay, and we can just copy this one, and you can just give testing id, okay, Now you can access this API like this way. So here you have to pass only ID. Okay. So now you can see that we have got our JSON response, that is testing ID. So this way also you can create a dynamic endpoint based on the ID. So in this project we will be performing like delete, update and getting the single task. So all this operation we are going to perform based on the ID. So we will be creating that endpoint as well, like this way only. So this is all about the basic overview of the Next.js. Okay, so all the file that I have created just for demo purpose. So I'm going to delete all this file, it's not required for this project. So it's just for a demo purpose for you. So let's remove this one, let's remove this one as well. We can remove this one as well. Okay, now what we have to do, so we have to install some packages. Okay, so we are gonna kill server here. So we are going to kill server first, then we will install packages that is required for this project. So we are going to install the packages like, so npm install mongoose, spelling mistake, so it will be mongoose. Then we are going to need Morgan for logging the HTTP request in our console. We are also going to use Semantic in this project, so we need to install Semantic UI CSS along with Semantic UI React. Okay, so this 4 packages is required for this project. So let's wait for the package installation and I'll be back once all the package got installed. So guys, our all package is now installed. Okay, and before we do npm start, we need to connect with the MongoDB. So we can create our Mongo database here, next.config.js file. If your server is running and whenever you do changes in this file, then basically you have to kill the server and you have to restart your Next.js server again. So that's why I'm not starting our Next.js server, because I have to again kill the server if I do changes after the server started. Okay, so let's first create our MongoDB database. So we can create like this way, MongoDB URI, and here we can give it like MongoDB localhost, and here we can give the DB name. So I am giving here like task crud app. Okay, so this will be our MongoDB name. Let's save this file and let's start our Next.js server. So let's do npm run dev. So our server is started on 3000. So it compiled successfully. Now we don't have any issue after doing the changes inside this next.config.js file. And here I'm going to create one folder first, that is source. Okay, and inside this source I'm going to move this page folder in source. Okay, so let's move this one inside this source. So it's moved inside into the source folder, and we can move our style folder as well into the source folder only. So we have moved page folder and style folder inside this source. Okay, and we can verify in the browser where we can check it got any break or not. So let's go into the browser first. So guys, it didn't break after moving page and style folder under the source. Okay, so let's go into the VS Code, and here we have to create one folder like util. Okay, so inside this utils folder we are going to have files like mongoose.js, and we are going to have one files like run middleware. Okay, .js, and we will have one index.js as well. So let's first work on mongoose.js file. So inside this file we are going to establish with the MongoDB. So basically here we will create the connection to connect with the Mongo database. So we need to bring from Mongo's connect and connection. So from Mongo's we need connect and connection. Okay, and here we can have one object like const con is connected. Initially it will be false. Okay, and we can export async function db connect, and we can check here like if con dot is connected, then I don't want it to execute the below line of code, and if it's not connected, then we are going to establish a connection with the MongoDB. So const db await connect, and we can use a like process dot env dot mongo URI. Okay, so we have already specified our db name. Okay, and after that we can have like con dot is connected db dot connection. So we have to do this one ready state. So it will be connections ready state. Okay, and after that connection dot on connected. Okay, and we can pass on callback, and we can just have a console log here like MongoDB connected to our database. Okay, and after that if we have any error, so we can show that one as well. So we can just copy this one and we can just specify here error, and it will have error whatever the error is throwing while establish a connection with the Mongo. So we can just give here like MongoDB error, and we can just simply give here like error dot message. Okay, and after that we can write some piece of code in middleware file. So this is a helper method to wait for a middleware to execute before continuing, and it will throw an error whenever an error occur in a middleware. So that's why I'm writing this middleware function. So we can again export a function here, export function run middleware. Okay, and this will receive request, response and function. Okay, and after that it will return a new promise. Okay, and this promise will have resolve and reject. Okay, and we're gonna have this function request result. So we will have this callback, and if result instance of error, so it will return a reject with a result. Okay, and after this return we can return our resolve state, okay, with the result. So we can pass the result here. So we are done with this middleware. Now we can use here index.js file to bring these two files. So we can export from like run middleware. Like this way we can export this one as well, Mongoose. Okay, Mongoose. It will be db connect, sorry. So we are done with the basic setup for establish a connection with the MongoDB, and we can verify this one whether we have successfully established a connection with MongoDB or not. So we can put here some console log, and we can check here like db dot connection dot db dot database name. Okay, so our database name you can check here. So our database name is task crud app. So this is our database name, and we can verify this one like this way. So we can go to the pages, and inside this API we can go to the hello.js file, and for now we can just bring that db connect, okay, from utils folder. So from index we can bring this db connect, and we can just run this one as this way. Okay, and let's see whether we are able to see anything in console or not. So I think we have to restart the server. So let's restart the server, and let's wait for the server restart. Okay, and after that you have to go into the browser, and since we have pasted in the API folder, so you can access this API hello. So we have some issue while establish a connection with the MongoDB. So let's go into the VS Code. So actually we have an issue with this one. So in next.config.js we have MongoDB URI. So it will be MongoDB URI, okay. And let's restart our server again. So I'm going to kill this one. Okay, let's restart this one. So let's wait for the compilation. Let's go into the browser and let's refresh this one. Let's open the console. So now you can see that we have got this message like MongoDB connected to our database, and this is the database that we have give in our next.config.js file. So as you can see that in our next.config.js file, so this is the DB name that is displaying here in our console. Okay, and this is the message that is displaying from here mongoose.js file. Okay, so we have successfully established a connection with our MongoDB, and we have created the database in our Mongo. Okay, so next thing we are going to start creating our REST API with the Mongo. So one by one we are going to create that one. Okay, so inside this pages folder we have API folder. So here I am going to create one more folder with the task. Okay, and inside this we are going to have one file that is index.js. okay, and here what we have to do first, so first we are going to create one model here. So let's create that folder as well inside source, so model, and inside the model we are going to have file like task. task.js. So first we are going to create a schema for the task. So we need to import model schema from our mongoose. So from mongoose we need to bring schema, model and models. Okay, and then we can create our task schema. So task schema, new schema. Okay, and here we gonna have a title of the task, and we can specify type. So type will be string and it will be mandatory, so we can specify required, and we can give here like true. And if it's empty, so we can give a error message like the task title is required, something like this we can give the message. And it should be unique. We can specify trim as well, so if we give some spaces like white spaces, so it won't have any impact with that. Okay, and max length we have to specify, so more than 40 are not allowed. So you can specify the message as well, like title cannot be greater than 40 characters. Okay, so you can specify this error message as well, and the same thing will goes for the description as well. So I'm just going to copy this one and paste it here, and let's change this one from title to description. And the type will be the string, it will be required true. Okay, and again you can give the message like task description is required, and it should not be unique. Okay, and trim we can specify true, and we can specify the length, so it will be 200, and we can give here like description cannot be greater than 200. Okay, so we can change here as well, it will be 200. After that, let's format this one first, and here we can have one more object with the timestamp, so it will be true, and version key it will be false. So we have created, so we have to export this one. So export default models dot task. Okay, and we have to also do this one if initially it don't have. Okay, so task schema. Okay, so you can make it capital if you wanted. So let's do this one. So we have created the schema for our task. Let's go to the API folder, and here we have task folder, and inside that we have index.js file, and here we need to bring that task schema. Okay, now we have to also bring the db connect, this thing we need to bring. So we can just copy this one and we can just paste it here, and we have to go one more down. Okay, and after this we can also bring the middleware as well. So run middleware also we have to bring, and we are also going to use Morgan. So let's import the Morgan from Morgan that we have installed, and we can just establish a db connect here. Okay, And after that, let export default async request response, and from request we will receive method and body. So method and body we are going to receive, and we can also verify this one whether our DB connection is established or not. So first let's get rid of this file. Okay, and let's go into the browser, and now we don't have hello, so you will get this error. So instead we have a task. Okay, so let's see into the console. Let's kill the server and restart this one. So now you can see that our MongoDB is connected to our database and we have got this DB name. So here also working the DB connect. So you won't get anything because we are not sending any kind of JSON response. Okay, so that's why we are getting this message. Okay, so let's go into the VS Code, and here what we can do first. So first let's specify. So let's first store the reference of Morgan into a Morgan variable. So Morgan, and inside this we can pass dev. Okay, and here we are going to use switch case method. Okay, so we are going to have different method like get, post. Okay, so we are going to handle inside the case. So if we have the get method, then try const task is equal to await. So we have this model which we have bring from our model folder task dot find. So this is the Mongo query we are running here, and after that we can await and we can run this middleware. We can pass request response and Morgan. After that we can return response dot status with the with 200 and JSON task. Okay, and if you have any error, then we can catch this one. Okay, so inside catch block we can return a JSON response like return response dot status 400 and JSON, and we can give message like error dot message. Okay, so we can verify this one whether it's working or not, this get method. So if you go to the browser, let's refresh this one. Okay, so now you can see that we have got this empty array of object, and we can also test this one in our Postman. So in Postman I'm just going to paste it here, and if you send it, so now you have got this empty array because currently we don't have any data in our MongoDB. Okay, so what we have to do, so we have to also write a post method. Okay, so first let's insert some data, then we can get the data with this method. Okay, so after that we are going to have another case with the post. Okay, and in try what we can do, so we will have new task whenever a task is created, and new task, and we will receive the task in the body and const. Now we have got the task, so we can save this one in this variable save task, await new task dot save, new task dot save. Okay, and here again we can run the middleware, so run middleware, and we can pass here request response and Morgan again, and we can just copy this line of code, let's paste it here. Okay, and here we will get save task in the response after posting the task, and in the same way we can handle the error. Okay, so I'm just going to copy this line of statement and I'm just going to paste it here. Let's format this one. Okay, and let's see whether it's working or not. So let's go into the postman. Now this will become post, and in body we can post some task. Okay, so we have like title, so it will be like test 1, and we have a description. So basically we are testing the API here in our postman. So let's give here test 1 is created, test 1 is created. Okay, and let's click on send. So we have got some issue, so you have to select the JSON, not text. Now click on send. Now you can see that we have successfully inserted one task in our MongoDB, and you can verify this one by just selecting this one get. Okay, so I'm going to do in the next tab so that you don't get confused, and here you can use this method get. Okay, so this is the task that we have created in this tab. Okay, and if you create one more task with the test2, okay, test2, let's click on send. So it will return the same task that we have created, and here you will get both tasks. Okay, so if you click on send, you will get both tasks that we have created from this tab. Okay, so we have successfully implemented the post request with the MongoDB in our Next.js. So the next thing we are going to create the API like for delete, update, and getting the single task. So let's do that one as well. So we have to go to the VS Code. So based on the ID, either we will be deleting or updating or getting the single task. So we have to create a file here with like this way, bracket id dot js. Okay, so we have to create the file like this way only. So in this file again we need to bring our db connect and the task model. So let's bring all these three import statement here as well. Okay, and we're gonna have db connect again here, and what we can do, so we can just do a copy paste. So we can copy entire thing here and paste it here. Okay, so here we are going to modify this request. Okay, so apart from body we are going to receive a query from our Next.js. So query, and inside this query we are going to have our id. Okay, and this get method will be as it is, and now this time we are going to find the single task based on the id. Okay, so here we can provide the id and we can check here, and this will be the task. Okay, single task. So if you don't have task, so we can return response dot status 404 dot json with the message like task does not exist. Okay, and after that we can run our middleware and we can send the response. So it will be task, okay, not tasks, and this will be as it is. And after that, so we can verify this one whether it's working or not. So let's go into the Postman and let's copy this ID, okay, and let's open one more tab here, and we have this ID, and after that we have to copy up to this, okay, we have to paste it here, and it will be the get only, and let's click on send. Okay, so we have some issue. So here we have to specify the tasks, because inside task we have a dynamic API endpoint. Now let's click on send. So now you can see that we are also able to get the single task based on the ID. So we are done with this part. Now we are going to perform the delete operation. So let's go into the VS Code, and now this will be the delete method. Okay, and let's change this one. So deleted task, and here we are going to use the query like find by ID and delete. Okay, and we can copy this one and we can paste it here. So if deleted task is not deleted, that means task does not exist, and we can remove this one and we can run our middleware and we can send the empty response. So while deleting we are not going to send any kind of response, so we can just leave as it is. Okay, and the error we are going to handle only this way only. Okay, so we can verify this one whether it's working or not. So let's go into the Postman, and now we can delete this task. So we have to select the delete method from Postman and let's click on send. Okay, so we have some issue. Okay, so I think I have forgot to, this will be await not new. Okay, now let's try once again in Postman. Let's click on send. So you can see that it's got deleted, and here so here you can see that we have a 2 data, but we haven't make a request again. So if you click again send, you will get only 1 data. Okay, so the test2 is got deleted. Okay, and if you look at in console, so you can see that we have got a different HTTP request logger. So this is happening due to Morgan. Okay, so we have used Morgan, that's why you are getting this HTTP logger. So we are done with the delete operation. Now let's perform the update operation. So we will create the API for the update as well. So here I'm going to add one more method. So for update I'm just going to copy this one and let's paste it here, and the method will be like put. Okay, and let's remove all this thing, and here we are going to have a task await, task dot find by id and update. So we can pass the id, body, and we can have a one object in which we can specify new, true, and we also wanted to run our validator, so we can also make it true. Okay, and this one we can give like updated task. Okay, and after that, first we can check if you don't have the updated task. That means we can just copy this line of code and we can just paste it here. Okay, after that we can return a JSON response. Okay, so return response dot status dot 200, return dot status 200 dot JSON, and we can send this updated task. Okay, and we can verify this one in our Postman. So let's go into the Postman, and where we have deleted, so we can just copy this ID because only this data we have in our MongoDB. So we can just change the ID, and this will be the put. Let's go to the body, let's select raw, and this will be the JSON, and we can just copy this thing, title and description, sorry, this one. So this is the updated one that we have. So let's copy this one and paste it here. So as of now, this is the same thing we have in our MongoDB. So let's see. So let's update this one. So text created got updated, and let's give here also updated. Okay, now let's click on send. So now you can see that it's got updated, and you can also verify from this endpoint which is returning all the tasks that we have in our MongoDB. So if you click send, now you can see that we have got the updated title and description that we have updated from this endpoint. Okay, so we have created all the CRUD API with the Mongo in our Next.js. We have to add one more thing here. So default we have forgot to add, so default, and inside this we can give something method like status 400 JSON, like this method is not supported. So we will verify this one as well. So first let's copy this one because we also need to add here as well in index.js file. So after this we can add, let's save this file. Okay, so let's go into the Postman, and if you select another method apart from get post, so if you select like put, so we don't have the endpoint with this put method. Okay, so if you click send, you will get the message like this method is not supported. So that's the reason I have added that piece of code in the default. So we have created all the CRUD REST API with the Mongo. So now let's start working on our UI part. So as you can see that we have already one data in our MongoDB. So first what I'm going to do, so first this data I'm going to display in our home page. Okay, so we have already one data, so we can create some more data. So let's do that one as well. So here we can give like eating. Okay, I've So we can give description like I will eat by 2 p.m. So I'm just going to create some task here and sleep. I will sleep by 10 p.m. Okay. So I'm just creating some task from Postman itself. So I'll displaying this task first in the home page. Then we will implement adding the new task, updating the existing task, deleting the task. Okay. So let's start working on our UI part. So let's go into the VS Code. So now we are going to have one folder inside source, that is components, and inside component we are going to have folder navbar.js and layout.js. Okay. And so in navbar.js we have to bring some component from semantic UI React. So the component is like menu, container, not conform, container, then button. And we are also going to bring the link from our next. So we need to bring link. Okay. And we need to bring the use router from next. Okay. So we're gonna need this use router in order to navigate towards the different page. So export const navbar and first we need to store the reference of use router into a router, and then we can return. Okay. And inside that we are going to use menu. Okay. And inside menu we are going to pass some props, that is inverted, and then we have to pass the borderless, then provide the inline styling. Okay. So that will be like padding, .3 rem. Okay. Margin bottom 20 pixel, and we have to pass one more and we have to pass one more prop that is attached. After that, inside this menu we are going to have container, then menu item. Okay. And we can specify here like name, so home, and we're gonna have a link, and here we will have href. So this will navigate towards the home page, and we're gonna have image source. We can specify like react.svg. So in public folder I have image like react.svg. So you might don't have, so it is not necessary to put an image here. Okay, so you can put instead versal.svg. Okay, so I have this react.svg, so I am putting here. And after that we're gonna have menu dot menu. Okay, and this will be the position right. Okay, Then again we are going to have menu item, and inside this we are going to have button, which will have value like new task, and we can give here size mini, and it will be primary. On click we can specify the method, so it will basically navigate towards the different page. So router dot push, so it will navigate towards the task slash new. So we haven't created this route in our pages folder. If you look at in pages, we haven't created this page. Okay, so we will create in a moment. So for now just specify this path. Okay, and after that what we have to do, so I think we are done with this navbar component. Now let's go to the layout.js file, and here what we have to do, so we need to bring head from our next. Okay, and we need to bring that navbar component here in our layout file. So we can bring this component navbar, then we can export this layout. So it will accept children, because we are going to use this layout in our app.js file. Okay, so after that we are going to use fragment, and we have to use head, and we can specify the title like task app. Okay, and we can specify our navbar, and we can just simply put here children. Now let's go into the app.js file here, and here we are not going to use this styling. Let's first bring the layout from our component folder. Okay, so layout, and we are also going to use semantic UI in this project. So we need to bring the semantic UI CSS. So what we can do, so go to the official document of semantic UI React, and we can copy this import statement, and we can just paste it here. Okay, and here in return what we can do, so we can wrap our component with the layout component, and we can pass this page props. Okay, so let's go into the browser, and let's load the home page only. Let's see console. So we have got this our nice navbar. Okay, and if you click new task, so this route is not registered, so you will get this message like page not found, because we haven't registered that route in our pages folder. So let's go here and create one folder like task only inside pages. Okay, tasks, and inside that we are going to have one file that is new.js. Okay, and you can generate some snippet here, React snippet, and you can give here like creating task. Okay, so on this page we are going to create a new task, and you can give here like create task. Okay, something like this you can give. Let's go into the browser. So now you can see that this route is now registered in our pages folder. Okay, so first what we are going to work on, so first we are going to work on this home page, because we have already created a 2 tasks with the help of Postman. I am going to display all these 3 tasks on our home page. Okay, so we have to work on this file. Okay, so we have to start working on our this file because this is our home page. Okay, so let's start working on this file. So in index.js file we can get rid of all this import statement, and again we have to bring some component from our semantic UI React. So from semantic UI React we need button, card, container and grid. Okay, and we are also going to need that router and link. So what I'm going to do, so I'm just going to copy this to import statement and I'm just going to paste it here. Okay, let's format this one, and now this will receive a task. Okay, and initially I'm giving a empty array. Okay, and we are not using styles, so we can just get rid of this part. Okay, and first I will check here if task dot length is equal to 0. That means if you don't have any task in our MongoDB, then I wanted to return something. So let's use here grid. It will be centered, vertical align, so it will be middle, columns 1, and we can give some inline style, so that will be like height. So let's give 80 VH. Okay, viewport height, and we are going to have then grid with row, then we will have a grid column. Okay, so grid column, grid column, and after that inside this grid column will be text align center only, and we are going to have one h1 tag, and we can mention title like there are no task present, please create a new one. So we can give this message. Okay, and after this h1 tag we're gonna have one div with the button, and this button will be the primary, and we're gonna have a on click method, so it will basically push toward the new task creation page. Okay, so I'm just going to copy this one, this on click method, so both button basically navigate toward the new task creation page. Okay, so let's just paste here on click method, and after that we can give here the button name like create task. Okay, now inside the return we are going to list our all the tasks. Okay, so we can remove this part and we can use a container and card dot group. Okay, and we are going to show the item per row 4. Okay, so we'll be displaying 4 item only. Okay, and then we are going to have the task. So if you have the task, then task, and we are going to use map here, and this will have a single task. Okay, and here we are going to use card, and first we need to specify the key so we don't get warning in console if you so first we need to specify this key, otherwise you will get warning in the browser console. So task dot underscore id. So MongoDB basically create the id with this underscore id. Okay, so if you look at in Postman, so this is the id. So this way MongoDB create the id. So inside this card dot content. Okay, and then we are going to have header, card header. So card dot header, and inside this we are going to have a link. Okay, so link, and we can basically navigate toward the individual task page. Okay, so this page is not created, so for now just specify the route. So tasks, so we have to specify the dynamic route that we haven't specified till now, so we will register that dynamic route later. So for now just specify the route path here. So task underscore id, and this will be like a, so this will be like title only. So task dot title. Okay, and after that we are going to have our description. So inside p tag we can have like task dot description. Okay, and then we will have 2 button after this description. So again I'm going to use here like cart content only, cart content. Let's give one props extra, and we are going to have 2 buttons here. So for button, again I'm going to copy this line of code, and I'm just going to paste it here, but we need to change some here. So this time we are not going to use primary, we will specify the color is, so we are going to specify the specific color of that button. So the color will be orange. Okay, and this will be like view, and on click method, so it will basically navigate toward the single task. So we can specify this only, we can just copy this one and we can paste it inside the backtick. Okay, so I hope I am not doing any kind of mistake here. So it will basically navigate towards the single task page where you can view the single task. Okay, and after that we're gonna have one more button. So let's just copy this one and let's just paste it here, and this will basically navigate towards the edit page. So I'm just specify here route like edit this way. Okay, and this color will be like blue. Okay, and size, we can remove size props. Okay, and now we need to fetch the data from our MongoDB using this API. So next is use a get server side props to make the API request. So here only we can use that one. So async function get server side props, and inside this we are going to have response. Okay, await, we are going to use fetch method, and we can just simply copy this API. Okay, we can just paste it here, and we can have here like tasks await response dot json. Okay, then we can return this one as a props. So props and tasks. So once it will get the task, so this function will receive the task as a prop. So you can see that we have specified the task here. So let's go into the browser and see whether it's working or not. So now you can see that we have got our task. So this is the same task that we have created from this Postman. So at the moment we have a 3 tasks. Okay, and the button value will be the edit, not view. Okay, for the second button. So let's just change this one. So it will be edit, not view. So let's go into the browser. So now we have got 2 buttons, that is view and edit. So the next thing we are going to work on new task. Okay, so here basically we have to create form here, and from form we can add a new task. So let's work on this new task creation page. Okay, so we have already created that page here. So we have a new .js file we are going to have. So we need to bring some hooks like use state, use effect. Okay, and again we need to bring some component from our semantic UI. So the component is like button, form, grid and loader. Okay, and we are also going to need use router as well. So next router, use router. Okay, then we are going to define a state for the 2 input field, that is title and description. So use state, and this will be like new task, set new task, and here we're gonna have like title, description. Okay, and from use router we need push method. Okay, and after that we're gonna have some more state like use state with the false, and the state will be like is submit. Okay, is submit, set is submit. Okay, we are going to have one more state to handle the error. So that will be like error, set errors, and this will be the object. Okay, and after that let's work on our form component first. So inside this return we are going to have grid. Okay, grid, we need to pass some props, centered, vertical, align, so it will be in middle, columns 3, and then we are going to provide the inline style. So height I'm going to give 80 VH, and inside this grid we are going to have grid column. So grid dot column. Okay, so this grid column gonna be text align in center. Okay, and we need to put this grid column inside the grid row. Okay, so grid dot row, and inside this we're gonna have our grid column. Now inside this grid column we are going to have a div. Okay, and inside this div we are going to have one h1 tag, that is create task. Okay, and inside this div we're gonna have another div. Okay, so we can check here if we submit, then we're gonna have a loader with the active, and we're gonna having like inline, centered. Okay, else I'm going to show the form. Okay, form, so it will be having one on submit method. So let's define this handle submit method outside the return only, and this handle submit will receive an event. So for now just leave as it is, we will work later. So first we need to work on our form component, then we are going to have input. Okay, then we're gonna have label, so it will be like title, placeholder we can give, enter title. Okay, name we can give title, on change we're gonna have handle change. Okay, let's define this one as well outside the return. This will also receive an event, and just leave as it is as of now. I have just formatted this one, and on change, after that we are going to have value. So what we can do here, so we can destructure this new task. From new task we can destructure the title and description, so we don't have to write like new task dot title, new task dot description. And after this we can just pass here title. Okay, and let's give autofocus. Okay, autofocus, and this form input component will be self closing. we can check this one whether we are able to see that first input field or not. So now you can see that we have got our first input field, and after that we are going to have a text area. So form dot text area, so this will be here, okay, not, so this will close here, and after that we are going to have again label. So this will be like description only. Then we need to pass placeholder, so we can give here like enter description. Then name we can give description only. Let's just copy and paste it. Let's make it small. Let's format first, and after that we are going to have again on change. So handle change is already there defined. Then we are going to have value. So value nothing but description. Okay, text area will also be a closing only, and after this we are going to have one button, and type will be the submit only. Okay, and let's specify the color of button, so it will be primary and it will be submit. Okay, so let's go into the browser. So now we have got our nice form. So now let's work on our handle change and handle submit. First let's define the handle change logic. So we can do like set new task, and we can spread out new task, and we can just do like this way. So from e.target we can destructure name and value. So from e.target let's destructure name and value. Here we can pass name and value. Okay, so this way you will able to type into the input field. So let's see, it is working. This is also working. Now we have to work on our handle submit. So handle submit will be the async. Okay, so here first let's do a e.prevent default. So we are going to prevent the default behavior of browser. So while submitting the form we have to also handle the error as well. So let's define one function here like const validate. Okay, so this will be basically responsible for validating our form component, okay, whether user has entered anything or not. So we will have one object here, error empty. Okay, and we can check here like new task dot title. So we can check here like if title is empty, that means error dot title is required. So we can give something like this message whenever user submitted the form with the empty title, and the same thing will goes for the description as well. So I'm just going to copy this one and let's just paste here, and this will be the description. This will be description only, and this will be description. Okay, now this validate function we can use while submitting the form. So let errors is equal to validate, and we can check here like if objects dot keys errors. So if you have any error, okay, then we are going to set the error. Okay, set errors. Okay, so I hope you are getting this one. And after that we can set like set each submit to true. So this line of code will not get executed if you have any error. Okay, and we can just here do like await, and we can create our task. So we have to define this function, okay, which basically responsible for making the post request. So let's create this function. So const create, and this will be the async only, because here we are going to make a API request. So try inside try we are going to use await fetch. So we are going to use fetch only, and for post we are going to use this one. Okay, so this API we are going to use. Okay, and we have to send some method. Okay, so this will be like, and we have to send method headers body. Okay, so in this object we can pass the method. So we are posting a new task, so we can give the method like post method, and headers we can give here like content type. So we have to specify this one, application / JSON. Okay, and then we have to pass the body as well. So JSON dot stringify, and inside this new task we will have our title and description of that task. Okay, now we can have error as well. We are going to have catch. So in case of error we are going to handle inside this catch block. So I'm just putting a console log only. Okay, and after submitting we wanted to navigate towards the home page, so we can use here like await push. Okay, and home page we have already all the logic which will basically fetch the updated task from our MongoDB. Let me refresh this one. So let's add one new task. So wake up, I will wake up at 10 a.m. and let's hit submit. So we have got some error here. Okay, so here I think we forgot to return the errors. Okay, that's why we are getting that issue. Okay, so let's return this error, and let's give again the same thing like wake up. So I will wake up at 10 a.m. Okay, and let's hit submit. Now you can see that we are successfully able to create the task, and we have got our fourth task in our home page. So now the next thing what we have to do, we have to also handle the error in the form component. So we have already write the logic. Okay, so we have to just show the error message whenever the user submit the form with the empty value either in title or description field. Okay, so let's do that one as well. So in form we will having like error props. Okay, and in error props what we have to do, so we have already errors. So if errors dot title, if we have the errors, so if we have the error in a title field, so we can do something like this. Okay, so we can specify content here, and you can also override the message if you wanted. Okay, so content, you can give here content like please enter a title. Okay, else If you don't have error, then you can specify the null. And the same thing will goes for the description as well. Okay, and let's specify here. So if you have the error in a description, then we can specify here like please enter a description. Okay, and else it will be the null. So let's go into the browser, refresh this one. Now let's submit without entering any value in the title and description. Now you can see that we have got our error message for each respective input if it is submitted as a empty. So if you provide value like checking error, okay, and if you submit, you will still not able to submit the form because the description field is empty. So if you click submit, this error will gone. Okay, you have to provide the description value as well. Now if you give the value and if you click submit, your task will get created. Okay, so we have got this task now. So we are done with the validation part, our form component as well. So the next thing we are going to work on our view page, where basically we can see the single task, and from that single task page we can also perform the delete operation. So in the view page we can see the single task, and from there we can delete that task. Okay, so we are going to do that one now. So let's go into the Visual Studio Code, and inside this we are going to have another folder with the ID, because we are going to view the single task based on the ID. So in pages we have a task folder, and inside this we are going to have another folder like this way. Okay, and inside this we are going to have file like index.js. okay, and let's import React here. So and from React we need hook like use state and use effect. After that we are going to need use router as well from our next router. Okay, so bring the use router. After that we need some component from our semantic UI. So the component required like confirm, button, grid and card. Okay, and we also need to bring error from our next. Okay, and let's create a component here. So functional component only. So const task. Okay, and this will receive a single task along with the error as well. Okay, and let's define some state confirm set confirm. So we are defining this state for the model. Okay, while deleting the single task. So use state, and this will be false. Now we are going to have one more state like is deleting, and here also we can do like this way only, set is deleting. This will be also false. Then we're gonna destructure from use router like push and query. So push we can destructure from use router, and query we need to destructure. And let's define one function that is for deleting the task. So this will be async because it's gonna be making a API request. Okay, so now from query we can destructure the ID. Okay, and we can have one try method and catch. So what I'm going to do, so from new.js file I'm just going to copy this line of code. I'll just have to modify little bit, but the code will be the same, okay, almost. So here we are going to delete the id based on the id, so we need to adjust this one. So I'm going to use here backtick, okay, and here what I have to do, so here I have to add the id, okay, and we have to also adjust the method, so it will be delete not post, and we can get rid of all this thing header and body, because we are not going to receive any kind of JSON response, okay, and also it is a delete request, so no need to send the body, okay, and the catch method will be as it is. After that, define some method for opening the model and closing the model. So const open set confirm true, and for close we are going to have false, okay, false, and this will be close. Let's work on the return part. So we have already bring the grid, and inside this grid we have to pass some props like centered, vertical align, so it will be in middle, then column, so it will be one only, and style we can give inline style, so it will be like height 80 vh, okay, and inside this grid we are going to have grid row, okay, grid row, and inside this grid row we are going to have grid column, okay, so grid dot column, and inside this we have to pass some props like text align, and it will be centered, okay, so it will be center not centered, and inside this grid column we are going to use a card, so card we have to use semantic card, and this will be centered, this card will be the centered, and now we have a like card dot header, and here we can specify the task title, okay, so you are wondering what is this task, okay, so we are getting this task from our server side props, so let's define that one as well below, okay, so here we are going to make a API request. So basically in this file we will be getting the single task based on the ID. So first we have to do a API request inside this get server side props. So let's do that one first before we proceeding inside this, okay. So we have passing this query, and inside this query we have ID, okay, and after this const response, okay, await fetch, and we can just copy this one because based on the ID we will get our single task, okay, so we can just paste it here, and after that we have to check if response dot status is equal to 200, That means we have got our single task, okay, based on the ID. So await response.json, and we can return our props, and we can specify the task, okay. And after this, if we have any kind of error, so we can also return that one as well. So props, and inside this we are gonna define error property and status code response dot status text, that will be like invalid ID, okay. So from this get server side props, we have a task and error which we are passing to this functional component, that is task and error. So it's receiving task and error from this get server side props, okay. So we can verify this one whether it's working or not. So let's go into the browser and refresh first. Let's click on view. Okay, so we have some issue in our index.js file. So it's talking about this file. So we have some issue here. So let's see what is the issue. Router is not defined. Okay, so we have use router, but we haven't stored the reference of use router into a router variable. That's why it's giving that error. So let's do that one. Now let's refresh this application again and let's click on view. Okay, so we have issue. The default export is not a React component. So what we can do, so let's go inside this file, and I think we have forgot to export this component. So let's do that one, export default task, okay. So it's good to have this kind of error while building this application. So this is the way we can learn all this thing. So let's go into the browser. Now you can see that we have got this one, test1 updated title, okay. And if you go back and if you view this one, we have got this sleep, okay. So now we are able to navigate toward the single task page, okay. Now let's do the rest of the coding inside this index.js file for the single task page. And after that, what we have to do, so we have a title here, okay. And after title we are going to have a description. So this will be description, okay. And this will be also a description. And we have forget to use one card content. So after card we're gonna have a card content, okay. So card content, and we have to put this header and description inside this card content, okay. Now after card content we are going to have another card content, okay. And inside this we are going to have our button, okay. So let's pass one props here extra, and we're gonna have the button here. So we have already bring the button component from semantic, and we can give the color of button to red because it will be a delete button. And on click I wanted to open a model, okay. And loading will be like is deleting, and we can pass the value of button like delete. So this will be the delete button, okay. and let's go into the browser. Now you can see that we have got our nice card here with delete button. Okay, and after that what we have to do, after this grid row we have to open the model. So we're gonna use confirm, which will be responsible for opening the model. Okay, so here we can pass content and we can give here like, are you sure to delete that task? Okay, we can give something message like this, and header we can specify like, please confirm, and we're gonna pass open. So confirm we can pass here, and on confirm we have a props. So here we have to specify handle delete method, which yet to be defined. So now we are going to have on cancel, in which we can pass the close variable. Okay, after this what we have to do, so we have to define this method first. So let's define this one outside the return, and here we're going to have a handle delete. Okay, this will be also async only, and here we can set this set is deleting to true. After that we can await like delete task. Okay, and once it deleted, then we can push towards the home page, and then we wanted to close our model as well. Okay, and here also we can put await. Okay, and let's handle the error as well. So if you have any kind of error like error dot status code, so we wanted to simply return error. So status code we can pass here, and we can just copy this one, we can paste it here. Title we can give here like error dot status text. Okay, so let's go into the browser and see whether delete operation is working or not. So let's refresh this one, let's click on delete. We have got our model, and if you cancel it won't delete. Let's click on delete again, and if you click OK, so now you can see that it's got deleted from our database, and here we don't have the fifth task. Okay, so now we are able to perform the delete operation as well in our Next.js. Okay, so now it's time to perform the update operation as well. So once user click on edit, okay, so it will basically navigate towards the edit page, but at the moment we haven't registered this page. Okay, so on edit page first we will populate the existing value into each respective input field. Okay, like for title and description, so whatever the previous value was there for title and description, so first we are going to populate that value in our form component. So let's register this page as well. So in this folder, id folder, I am going to create file like edit.js, and I am going to utilize the same file here, new.js. Okay, so I'm not going to write again the same code in the edit.js. So simply what I can do, so I can just import this new.js file here only. Okay, so import task form component, you can give name anything, so import task form component from new. Okay, and we can simply do like export default task form component. Okay, so let's save this file and let's go into the browser. Now you can see that we are able to navigate towards the edit page. So we have to do a couple of changes. So we have to basically update this title as well, so it will be update task, then button value get changed also from submit to update task, and we have to populate the respective value into title and description field. Okay, so let's do all this thing first. Okay, then we will update the existing task. So we have to go to the new.js file only, because we have to do adding the new task or updating the existing task into the same file. So all the update logic will be going into new.js file only. So what we have to do now, so in order to update the existing task, so first we need to get the single task based on the ID. Then we will be able to populate the title and description into a form component. So what I'm going to do, so here we have a use router and we will get query as well. Okay, and we can have one function here like get task. Okay, and this will be async await, because it's gonna be making an API request for getting the single task based on the ID. So const response equal to await fetch, and we can just copy this URL from index.js file. So this is the same URL we are going to use here for getting the single task. Okay, and here, so here instead of ID we have to give like query.id. Okay, and let's do like const data is equal to await response dot json. Okay, and we can set the state of new task. So set new task title, that will be like data dot title. Okay, and description, that will be like data dot description. Okay, okay, and this get task will run inside use effect. Okay, and inside this use effect we're gonna have a dependency. So this use effect only runs once we have ID. Okay, so it will only run when we have ID. So we can check here, if we have the query.id, if we have the ID, that means user is updating the existing task. So we can get the single task by executing this function inside our use effect. So let's go into the browser and see whether we are able to populate the existing value of title and description in our form component or not. So you can see that we have got the existing value of title and description in our form component. Let's go back and try other task. So let's click on edit. So we are able to populate the existing value of title and description in form component. So now we have to also modify our handle submit logic. So now we cannot create the task straight away. So first we have to identify, if we have the query.id, that means user is updating the existing task. So in that case we have to update the task. So this function is yet to define, we will define in moment, and else user is basically adding the new task. Okay, so we can put this line of code inside this else condition. Okay, and now we have to define this update task. So let's define this one here only. So we have to define this one update task. So what I'm going to do, so first I'm just going to copy this entire stuff and I'm just going to paste it here, and this will be the update task. Okay, and we will be updating based on the ID. So again we can use here backtick. Okay, and we can pass here like query dot id. Okay, and the method will be put only, and I think rest of the thing will be as it is. Okay, and we have to also change the title and the value of button. So this is the created task. So this is the create task. So now we can do something like this. If we have the id, that means user is updating the existing task. So we can give here like update task else create task. Same thing will goes for the button value as well. So query.id, so that means user is updating the existing task. So button value will be the update, else it will be the submit. So we can verify this one whether it's working or not. So let's go into the browser. Let's refresh this one. So now you can see that this title and the button value got changed. Now let's update this one. So let's just give like eating update. Let's give this one update, and let's click on update. So now you can see that we are also able to perform the update operation as well in our Next.js app with the help of MongoDB. Okay, so we have implemented features like create, read, update and delete with the help of MongoDB in our Next.js app. So I hope you have enjoyed watching this video and you have learned something from this video. So please subscribe this channel and like the video as well. So I will see you in the next video. So I will see you in other video. So I will see you in the next video. Till then, goodbye and take care.